We were discussing on the point of evidence, isn't it? क्या टॉपिक के ऊपर अभी? Evidence. So, framing of the charges is completed. Plea has been recorded, isn't it? Plea of the accused is recorded. Plea of the accused is recorded in the sessions trial under the provisions of section 229 and 230. When plea is recorded, accused says no, then evidence commences. That is called evidence for prosecution. क्या बोलते हैं इसको? Evidence for prosecution will commence in a sessions trial in section 231. 231. Okay. I will go step by step each trial. Just note down this section. In a session trial, the evidence commences. Evidence for prosecution, section 231. Then in a trial of warrant cases by the magistrate, in cases instituted on police report, the evidence for prosecution commences under section 242. After recording the plea of a plea under section 241. Then in cases instituted otherwise than on a police report, that is section 190A and 190C cases, defense evidence, prosecution evidence commences section 244. 244 is the section where the magistrate commences evidence. I'm coming on the prosecution's evidence, mean the public prosecutor begins on the evidence. Then in a trial of summons cases, the evidence begins under, see, the procedure is section 254. Plea of guilt is recorded under section 252 and 253. And a charge is not required to be framed, but a substance of the accusation to be stated under section 251. Okay. Evidence is produced under section 254 in support of the prosecution. See, section 254. Here, this section 254 make a simultaneous provision, prosecution as well as the accused person. Accused is also given opportunity to file the evidence. Then summary trial, the evidence commences, procedure is a section 262. Section 262. Okay, these are the provisions where the public prosecutor, who are the persons who will be examining. So before I mentioned to you, before the commencement of this evidence, you will have to bear in mind the provisions of section, note down, where documents you are required to give your say. Section 294. Here, both the prosecution, government pleader as well as the accused lawyer is called upon to admit or deny the genuineness of the document. So I told you, when a public prosecutor, when a charge sheet is filed, when they are supplied to you Xerox copies, you may take objection. A Xerox copy is not admissible. And I also told you that they are giving you a pen drive without a certificate under section 65B. without furnishing 65B certificate from the Information Technology Department, evidence is not admissible. So the objection, you can say that here, I object to this document being taken on record. A Xerox copy of a letter, not admissible. Merely police statements are recorded under section 161. You may take objection. I am not admitting unless the deponents are brought before the court. If it's a dying declaration recorded under section 32 of the Indian Evidence Act, it must be the statement of a deceased relating to his death, before whom it is given, and the causes of his death. And section 32 speaks of here. So that is it. Then another section which I want you to also make a note of under the provisions of the CRPC is यहाँ पे documents के बारे में ले लिया आपने. You have given your say in the matter. What documents you should oppose, what you should not be. Yes. Then there is also an important section before I deal with the evidence. Section 287, where the parties may examine witness, the interrogatories can also be exchanged. So please note that normally the interrogatories are known to the Code of Civil Procedure under the provisions of Order 11. We learned, you must have been learning it here. I even drew your attention. Now see section 287 CRPC. The parties to proceeding under this court in which commission is issued may respectively forward any interrogatories in writing with the court or a magistrate directing commission. Now here, why the commission is here? Because sometimes the witnesses are not in a position to come before the court. So one of the party may say that here, your lordship may kindly be pleased to issue a commission for examination of the witnesses. Section 285 check kar lijiye aap CRPC. Commission to whom to be issued? If a witness is within the territorial to which the court extends, the commission shall be directed to the chief MM and the case may be so and so. If the witness is in India, the state so and so. Then number 3, if the witness is in a country, in a place, so in a foreign country nowadays you examine, issue a commission. Isn't it? So in Bombay blast case, you know that the commission was issued to the US government to examine one of the gentlemen who deposed here. A US citizen who spoke about the involvement of Pakistani gentlemen in terror activities in Mumbai. That evidence in record. Then 86 speaks of execution of commission. Now these provisions are analogous to the provisions of Order 26 Rule 1 CPC. You will come to know under Order 26, the court issues court commission. Order 26 CPC को लीजिए. You should know this. Order 26 speaks of commissions. Cases in which commission may be issued. Commission may be examined to witnesses. Young lawyers can be appointed to go and record evidence. In the High Court, it is a practice. Judges don't record evidence. They don't have time. Young lawyers are appointed as the commissioners for recording evidence. And it's a good lucrative one because per hour you are getting paid some decent amount. When you become a young lawyer and practicing, enroll yourself in the Bar Association of the court, that I would like to be a commissioner. That is a very important provision. Then there is also a section dealing with the commission. That is, if I am not mistaken, section 35. Check karo aap. section, which is the commission section, and there's also section in CPC. Power of the court to appoint commission, section 75 check करो. Yeah, power of the court to issue summons. Section 75, order 26 in the Code of Civil Procedure. See, power of the court to issue commission, number one, to examine any person, to make local investigation, examine any adjust account, to make partition, to hold scientific technical expertise, investigation, conduct a sale of the property, and to perform ministerial act. Okay, please remember the section 75, order 26, and in the CRPC, it is section 285 and 286. Okay, and also 287, also interrogatory cycle. Now, in the CPC, you will find that here interrogatories are issued under the provisions of Order 11. These are all pre-trial arrangement. You are required to remember this very carefully. Note down everything. Interrogatories are questions which are normally framed. When you see order provisions of Order 11, Order 11 Rule 1 में आ जाइए. Rule 1, 2, 3 के अंदर होगा इसके अंदर. Yes. Order 9, Order 10, Order 11. See that? Discovery and inspection. Order 11, Rule 1, discovery of interrogatories. Please note that particulars of interrogatories. So, more or less, CPC and CRPC are somewhat similar in procedural matters in the matter. So, उसके बाजू में लिख लीजिए आप section 287 CRPC where interrogatories are given. तो commission के लिए section 75, order 26, CRPC में 285, 286, 287 return of commission, 288. Okay, these are all important sections. These are all pre-trial preparation, and you file the list of witnesses. The CRPC के अंदर list of witnesses, the court will. Sorry, it got automatically disconnected. You can see that now. Order 16, Rule 1 CPC. Summons to the witnesses, Order 16, you are supposed to give a list of witnesses. It is, you must disclose so the other person is not taken by surprise. Now, there is no specific provision here in the CRPC, but Evidence Act Section 135 tells you when the procedure is not laid down in the CPC or CRPC, Section 135 of the Evidence Act, order of production, examination of witnesses, the order in which the witnesses are produced and examined shall be regulated by the law and the practice for the time being in force in civil and criminal proceeding, respectively, and in the absence of such a law by the discretion of the court. So the court will direct here. Now in prosecution witnesses, which we learned here, now who are the witnesses? The prosecution witness. The prosecution will be permitted to lead what type of evidence? Now, I will just give you a cursory glance of various types of evidence which may be given. I pointed out to you yesterday, number one, under the Evidence Act, when you open, if you have a bare act, open it up, that is section 59 and 60 spoke of the direct evidence. Then section 62 spoke of, section 62 spoke of primary evidence, where the documents speak for itself. Then section 63 65 spoke of the what kind of evidence it is? Secondary evidence. Secondary evidence means copies. Secondary evidence. Of course, circumstantial evidence is not defined under the Act. But when you see the provisions of Section 4 of the Evidence Act, there's a topic called may presume, shall presume, and conclusive evidence. Please open Section 4. Of the Evidence Act. Now, under this here, see, you may kindly see that here, may presume, shall presume, and conclusive proof. May presume examples you will find under Section 114 of the Evidence Act. I won't be going in details. This is kept reserved for you for your next term. Under 114 are the example of when the court may presume. This is all circumstantial evidence will be helpful to you. Section 114 check कर लेंगे आप. These are the examples of circumstantial evidence. Court may presume existence of certain facts. A से लेकर यहाँ पे B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, I तक देख लीजिए. This illustration, go through when you get time. I won't be reading here for this lecture. Go through. You will come to know the circumstantial evidence. How the court will draw inferences, you will come to know. Then examples of shall presume. When the court shall presume. In a may presume cases, suppose the court may presume that a person is in possession of a stolen property unless he proves it. If I am in possession of your mobile phone, you lodge a complaint that your mobile phone has been stolen. I am the last person who went, so I am using your mobile phone. And I will take a dishonest stand. No, it is my phone. Isn't it? Then pursuant to your complaint, the court will ask me, there is a complaint against you that you are in possession. Show me the receipt of your document. I am unable to prove it. If I don't prove, the court will presume that I am not the owner. So there is an inference drawn against me in that regard here. So यहाँ पे the B के अंदर an accomplice is unworthy of credit unless corroborated in material particular. I mean, a person who makes a confession A against B, his evidence cannot be taken as a gospel truth. It should be taken with a pinch of salt. The court said that his evidence should not be totally believed unless it is corroborated, supported by some other reliable evidence. समझे ना आप? So the court is not attaching here. The court may draw presume here. So there are cases here. In a G के example में, a question is asked you in the cross-examination whether you are paying income tax. Yes, I am paying income tax, to show that. Can you produce the returns? I am not producing it. If I don't produce the returns, court will draw against me adverse inferences. So court may presume that here I am deliberately not producing because those documents will go against me. So the court may draw a presumption against me in the matter. That is called a rebuttable presumption. Rebuttable presumption means an opportunity is given to the party against whom inference is sought to be drawn to prove that the inference is wrong. So I should be given the opportunity before proving that I am a thief. I should be allowed to lead evidence. So you will take up the plea as a landlord. You have given me a notice of termination calling upon to quit vacate the premises. I will take up the plea. मुझे notice ही नहीं मिली. Notice ही नहीं मिली मेरे को. But you will produce a registered AD letter. So registered AD letter is a presumption to show that letter is gone. But if I take up the plea at the time when the letter was sent and allegedly received, I was not in India. How this could have been done? So I will, if I am allowed to lead a rebuttable presumption, I can dislodge the evidence. Otherwise, under the Evidence Act, the letter posted is admissible because the court presumes that it must have been delivered in the regular course of event. So those presumptions can be starting from shall presume section 79 onwards of the Evidence Act. I won't be troubling you at the moment. Just keep in mind those bindings. Section 79 onwards, presumption as to document. 79 से लेकर 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 90, 90 के अंदर a 30-year-old document is good old enough. If you produce a document of the will of your grandfather saying that this is my grandfather's will, I also have his diary, which he writes usually, and if it is not challenged, the court says the 30-year-old document should be proved. Unless the other side, your brother takes up the plea, this is fabricated. I have a passport of my grandfather which shows the signature is a different signature. So in that event, you will ask that this honorable court may appoint a handwriting expert to dislodge the agreement. So that is how the situation arises. Or the court may compare the signature under section 73 of the Evidence Act. So there is an opportunity given here. So that is called examples of shall presume. Then under section 90A, there is a presumption as to electronic record of 5 years are valid. Then under section 80, मैंने 90 के अंदर बताया था आपने 88.0, when a confession is recorded by the magistrate under section 164, the memorandum is prepared by the magistrate is accepted as evidence. Section 80 के अंदर पढ़िए आप, presumption as to document produced as record of the evidence in a judicial proceeding. I won't be reading everything. For your information, the chief judicial magistrate recording a confession where the confession is only recorded under the CRPC and Evidence Act. Police officer cannot record the confession. Such confession is proved by the prosecution by tendering the original document, memorandum prepared by the chief judicial magistrate. And it is proved, and if it is not challenged, if the accused has not filed retraction, if he has not challenged that his signature was taken forcefully, and if he has not led evidence or cross-examined on the point that he has not given free consent, then the court will accept it. The court shall presume, see that here, the evidence is that here the court shall presume it to be taken. That is one example under section 4. Then the last evidence is under the Evidence Act in section 4 is a conclusive proof. Something which is conclusive under the Evidence Act need not be proved. Now, there are 3-4 examples under section 42 of the Evidence Act. See, what is a conclusive? Mean something which is a conclusive proof, you are not allowed to lead evidence to disprove it. That is, for example, under the provisions of section 41 of the Evidence Act, there are certain judgments, final judgments of a court, namely competent court, namely matrimonial court, insolvency court, probate court, and matrimonial insolvency probate court. If the court has passed a final decree, if the family court says that A and B are divorced by a decree of divorce, tomorrow upon the death of husband and wife, the other person claim his or her property. Isn't it? And the husband cannot say the person wife is my wife and I am entitled to property. But if her sister or brother produces the decree of divorce of a family court, it is a conclusive evidence since it has not been challenged and it is final. And a decree passed by the insolvency court, Bombay High Court, District Court, now it is the Company Law Board under the insolvency resolutions. A final decree pass, final order pass is a conclusive evidence for the purpose of Section 4, and you cannot challenge it here. Probate court also same. A probate is granted that your grandfather executed a will and you obtain a probate. Of course, probate is not title to property. It is a genuineness of the signature of the gentleman. If it has reached finality, it has reached a logical end, you will not be permitted to challenge it by virtue of Section 41. Now, another interesting section, Section 123 of Check Karenge Evidence Act के अंदर 120 yes, that is a child, birth of a child का है देखो provision. There is a section which dealing with the birth of a child. 112 112 112 of the Evidence Act. Birth during marriage is conclusive proof of legitimacy. Mean the fact that any person was during the continuation of a valid marriage between his mother and child, 280 days after dissolution is born, and he is supposed to be legitimate. और DNA टेस्ट भी कराएंगे तो कोर्ट नहीं मानती आजकल, isn't it? But of course, in scientific evidence, in DNA case was accepted. In N.D. Tiwari's son's case, DNA was used. But the legislature is unable to amend the section to bring in DNA, but the courts are passing orders. DNA will nullify whether the child is yours or not. Serum test will establish it. But the government of India is dragging feet with a view to protection granted to the women under Article 15 subclause 4 of the Constitution. So we should not expose the women to show that they committed adultery. So the Indian condition doesn't accept the fact that to show our women in a poor state of mind. So that's the part. So they now at the moment conclusive test is given. 113 के अंदर where association of territory during the British time. You know, in India there were more than 600 states during the British Raj. Now, State Reorganization Act was passed after the independence. So each state was amended, annexed to the Union of India. So the annexation of each state to the Union territory under Article 1 and 2 of the Constitution in the first schedule, that is a conclusive proof. 113 के अंदर. These are the only section which speaks of a conclusive evidence. Now, apart from this here, under the Evidence Act, there are certain evidence. Further, you should know that prosecution के लिए, yes, what are the important evidence मैं बोल लेता हूँ आपको मैं देख लीजिए. Then there is also a positive evidence, negative evidence, then prosecution witness के बाद evidence के बाद, then the prosecution means the police officer is examined. The witnesses who gave evidence under section 161 CRPC, they are examined. Then witnesses who gave confession, they will be examined. For example, the magistrate, isn't it? Then the character evidence, isn't it? There is a character evidence. There are sterling witnesses who are the best witnesses under the law. They are related witnesses, means somebody related to the accused, related to the prosecution. The court will see that evidence with a pinch of salt. Not then partisan or interested witnesses. So for them, the court will not be. Then known witnesses, somebody known to the accused person, somebody known to the prosecution. Then there is a call hostile witnesses. Mean your own witness you examine goes against you. Under the provisions of the Indian Evidence Act, section 158 contained, when your own witness goes against you in examination chief, क्या करेंगे आप? You will put question to him in cross-examination and seek the permission of the court. I want to declare him hostile witness. क्या बोलते हैं इसको? It's a hostile witness. अगर police का witness, suppose at the time of the scene of offense, he says, I recorded my statement. ये के कोर्ट में आके बोलेगा मैं जानता नहीं कुछ भी. I was not there. then the public prosecutor क्या करेगा? Why not may kindly, he has signed the affidavit, he gave evidence, he is probably appeared to have been purchased by other side. So I am taking permission to declare him as a hostile witness. So उसका provision आप देखेंगे section 158 खोलो evidence act, just for your information, उसमें मिल जाएगा आपको. 158 खोल दीजिए. It's a very interesting topic on the CRPC and Evidence Act. Hostile witnesses can be used in both civil and criminal cases. Please note the entire Evidence Act is applicable to CRPC and CPC also. So this topic of hostile witness statement under section 138. Yeah. See? What matters may be proved in connection with proved statement relevant under 38-32. Impeachment के बाद, sorry, 154. I'm sorry. Questions by party to his own witness. 154. The court may, in the discretion, permit a person who called the witness to put a question to him, which might be put in cross-examination by the adverse party. See that? So your own witness, you are asking question in cross-examination, which is normally done. This goes when a witness goes against you, when your own witness is not cooperating with you, he is called a witness. Then child witnesses under the Evidence Act, there is no bar. Even a child can be examined. Section 118 of the Evidence Act tells you in that regard, if you bear in mind, who are competent to give evidence. 118 देखो, who may testify. So that testification के अंदर आपको मालूम हो जाएगा, children can give, dumb witnesses give, blind persons can give, deceased person give. There is no bar. A child witness may not be able to sign a contract, may not enter into a contract, may not even be able to file a suit without a next friend or a guardian. Here he can give witness. That is, a child witness is the best witness. If a child says that my father has been beating my mother every day and he poured kerosene in many of the cases, and a child witness comes and deposes a child of 3 years, 4 years, his evidence is the best evidence. The court will accept the evidence and convict the father. Okay? Then police has a witness. The police officer who records the Panchanama. The police officer who records the first information. The police officer who records, who enters diary under 172. The police officer who filed the charge sheet, he will also require to step into the box. That is a IO's evidence. उसको बोलते हैं. Or a constable who has gone to arrest the accused person under section 41. So they are required to be examined before the court of law to prove that he witness ran away, the accused ran away, he abused, and he did this, that, and in my presence he has committed the offense. So उसको बोलते हैं police witnesses prosecution. Then evidence of an investigation officer, I told you, he will depose as regard the first information report. The diary entry, investigation conducted by him, recording of the statement under 161, 162, and attachment of the property. He brought also the punch witnesses under the provisions of section 100. Then he also took inquest Panchanama under section 174. Then at the directions of the magistrate, he participated in the inquiry, went along with the magistrate, conducted the inquiry and assisted him for collection of the evidence. So there are material. Prosecution must establish this in various cases here. That is called investigation IO's witnesses. Of course, he will be subject to cross-examination by the other side. So at the moment who are the witnesses here? Then there are chance witnesses. When chance means a witness happened to be there. A and B were fighting together. Suppose क्रिकेट का मैच देखने गए आप, फुटबॉल मैच देखने गए, आपस में झगड़ा हो गया, एक दूसरे को पिटाई हो गई. You are a spectator, you happen to be there. You are a chance witness. You may come and depose, your evidence may be recorded. Okay? You are called a chance witness. Then there are witnesses called rustic witnesses, mean who are lazy witnesses, who are indolent, who are not prepared to give. Then the best witnesses are eyewitnesses. Chashmadid Gawah, the people who have seen the offense, the primary best evidence. Direct evidence के अंदर आएंगे, the eyewitnesses who have seen the scene of offense, their evidence is the best evidence. And in the eyes of law, the court will regard them and pay attention. Then eyewitnesses as silent spectators, that is also there. Then delay in examination. So these are the various. Then there is circumstantial evidence which I dealt with you under the Provisions of Evidence Act. Suppose in one of the famous case, when you see that Pakala Narayan Swami's case of the Privy Council, check karenge aap. When we take Evidence Act, I will discuss this case. A very interesting case. A dead body of an old man was found in a trunk in a train. No malum ke kaise. Nobody knew how the 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces of the dead body in a trunk. From the destination A it started, last destination nobody claimed. The police officers and the railway staff checked it and opened it. They found dead body. So inquiries were made. There were no eyewitnesses. Kaun kisne mara? So it's a difficult case to prove. Then they found out here, ये trunk कहाँ से लिखाया था? वो trunk वाले से inquiry है. The station से कहाँ पे entry हुए मौलेंगे? So and so बुसा बिहार में गांव है some place, वहाँ से चढ़ाई हुआ था. वहाँ से क्या नाम है? They found out who the person rickshaw puller brought it. वो रिक्शा वाले को बोले तुमने कहाँ से आए थे? One gentleman came from so and so street. ये ट्रंक कहाँ से लिया था? ट्रंक वाले को एग्जामिन किए. वो ट्रंक वाले ने बताया कि ये जेंटलमैन काला पीला नीला वो लेके आके ले आया था. देन ट्रंक से मालूम हुआ कि ये बॉडी किसकी थी? बट मालूम हुआ कि नारायण स्वामी की थी. उसकी थी. Then we came to know who has committed the murder. The son-in-law and the daughter. For what purposes? They had taken loan from the old man. He demanded loan back. So son-in-law and daughter committed the murder of his own father. Very unfortunate. How the circumstantial evidence, the each chain got it leaked here. That is how it is proved here. बात देखा जाएगा. Because the court has, Supreme Court said in many cases, witnesses may lie, documents may lie, circumstances will never lie. Circumstances के अंदर motive, preparation, conduct is seen. उसके लिए Section 8 of the Evidence Act is required to be seen. Okay, these are the various evidences which you note that here, which can be led both in examination chief under 137 CR Evidence Act, also in cross-examination of the other party. Please note that here. Now, under the provision scheme of the CRPC, the public prosecutor or defense will not be prepared to allow to file affidavits as evidence in chief. Whereas in the Code of Civil Procedure Code, under Order 18 Rule 4, आपने सीखा होगा, आपने देख लीजिए आप, there is a provision for leading evidence by examination chief. So when this evidence is led, when examination chief is conducted by the public prosecutor, in the section which I mentioned, you have a right to, so he will introduce each document, witnesses are asked, interrogative question, and no leading questions are asked. Please note that here, no leading questions are asked. Then after question, normally examination chief, the public prosecutor will ask him, suppose he will ask him, you please tell the honorable court, what is your name, what is your occupation, where you are residing, and in what connection you have come to the court. In what connection? For example, the police officer had called me that here you are required to come at the scene of offense and witness it here. Yes, I went to the officer. I saw the dead body of A, which is which was on so and so place. I myself seen B committing the murder, and he had a chopper in his hand. When people shouted, he ran away, shouting. So he is one of the witnesses. I went and lodged the first information report with the police station. These are my statements. Statements are correct. Then क्या बोलेंगे आप, public prosecutor? These statements and the signature may kindly be taken on record, be marked and read in evidence and as exhibit. P for prosecution witness. Then the witness बोलेगा, in my presence, the accused person, along with the police officer, we went to the field. In the field, he showed us the dagger. He said it is the document this is the instrument, this is the weapon with which he has committed the murder. The police officer, in my presence and in the presence of another punch witness, took the custody of the said witness, of the said weapon, sealed it, took the signature, and wrapped it neatly and kept it here. I have myself personally seen about it. Then the court will say, yes, document has been duly proved, taken on record. Okay, yes, if documents are proved this way, they come on record. Then, of course, after examination chief is completed, the defense has a right to cross-examine. Cross-examination is a difficult art unless you have read thoroughly the case, number one, unless you have visited the scene of offense, number two, unless you have know the history of each witness, you will not be able to cross-examine. If a witness को पूछना पड़ेगा, your whereabouts, कहाँ रहते हैं आप, what is your duty, what are your duty hours, what was the necessity for you to go to police station or scene of offense at that time, was it not working hours for you, what was the color of the shirt the accused person was having. ये सब contradiction ले सकते हैं आप evidence act के अंदर, evidence. So examination chief के अंदर, with the help of this evidence, when you see if the evidence of the prosecution is not satisfactory, now that provision, if you see that here, section the section 227 में आ जाइए आप, sorry, 225, yes, 231. Evidence for the prosecution. See, on the date so fixed, the judge shall proceed to take the evidence as may be proceeded so. Now, evidence होने के बाद, the judge may in a discretion permit cross-examination of any witness to be deferred unless the witnesses have been examined or recalled witnesses. So the role of cross-examination will come on the 137. Recalling witnesses will come under 311 CRPC for cross-examination. Okay. Then see, 232 is important. If after taking the evidence of the prosecution, examining the accused, and hearing the prosecution and the defense on the point, the judge considers that there is no evidence that the accused committed the offense, the judge shall record order of acquittal. So the accused, the judge, the learned session judge, under section 32, if he is satisfied that the prosecution's evidence is not reliable, it is not inspiring, so in that event, the defense need not examine witnesses. And he will straight away record acquittal. But that is not so in civil cases. Under the provisions of Order 14 CPC, plaintiff and defendant record the evidence on issue of law and issue of fact. It is only on the issue of law if the court finds that the suit is barred by the doctrine of res judicata. Only on that point the court can decide the matter and dismiss it. समझे ना आप वो एक ही issue के ऊपर. And if the court finds that the suit is barred by limitation after recording evidence, the suit is filed after 12 years, after 3 years. So there is no point in wasting time giving a decision on declaration, partition, which are unnecessary. The plaintiff has been sleeping like Rip Van Winkle. He is coming to court after 10, 20 years. So there is no point, the court. Then, or that the defendant, that the plaintiff had earlier filed the suit and withdrawn it on the same cause of action without obtaining the leave of the court. Under Order 23, Root 3, the suit is hit. So, वो order देखेगा तो court बोलेगा, let the suit be disposed of on the ground. There is no need to try the case. So, similarly, in CRPC, under the provisions of Section 231, when the learned session judge is of the opinion that the public prosecutor has not led proper evidence, the prosecution has witnesses are not reliable, I hereby discharge the accused. So the accused will not be called upon to enter the defense. But it is only when the court is in doubt, court feels that there is a material to further proceed, then the court will give opportunity to the defendant, accused, you lead your evidence. See, section 233, where the accused is not acquitted under 232 shall be called upon to enter on a defense and adduce evidence he may be in support thereof. Now, this accused का evidence is also given. उससे पहले accused, please open section 300 and there are certain important section. 313, section 313, power to examine the accused. Section 313 is very important. Now, under this, in every inquiry trial, for the purpose of enabling the accused personally to explain any circumstances appearing in the evidence against him, the court may at any stage, without previously warning the accused, and put question to him as the court may necessary, shall after the witnesses of the prosecutions have been examined and before he is called upon the defense put question. So this process under 313 begins before the evidence of the defense begins. No sooner the public prosecutor closes the case, and before the accused is called upon to examine his witnesses, that provision, accused may be accused a person to be competent witness, section 315. 315 देखेंगे आप पे, any person accused of an offense before the court shall be a competent witness for the defense and may give evidence on oath on proof. So in America, you know that here there is a doctrine called right to be silent, Miranda rule. पढ़े हैं आपने कभी? Miranda versus Arizona. Anybody heard of this? Google में मारो जरा this one Ashutosh. Miranda versus Arizona. It's a very famous doctrine under the American criminal jurisprudence. Your Miranda rule, you can be applied. The right to remain silent. When the police officer tells you that you have committed the crime, what do you want to say? You have a right to keep silence. Because you don't know what to say. You don't have a lawyer. You can be entrapped. Silence is gold at times. समझे ना आप? So read this come and then next time we'll discuss about it. What is the Miranda rule? Miranda versus Arizona. I'll discuss with you. So in the when I'm discussing with evidence, section 313 is very important. इसको जरा पढ़ के आ जाओ next time. I will discuss it. Section 313, 315, Miranda rule. Miranda rule. And little have a glance for the investigation and trial. which I will discuss with you in detail from each section. That is starting from section 273 से लेकर आप I will run through this entire section to complete this section 299. Okay, this will be in tomorrow's Wednesday's lecture. I will complete this. So I have discussed with you today what kind of evidence is led before the court of law, what are the various types of evidence under the Evidence Act which are discussed, how the list of witnesses are given, how the documents are tendered, how the interrogatories are tendered. You learned it here. That is a pre-trial statement. Then you lead examination chief under section 137, where you are required to examine yourself. Go in the box. Public prosecutor will ask question. Under the Civil Procedure Code, affidavit is filed. There is no need to go in the box. But sometimes the court may say that you come in the box. So the witnesses, those who cannot come to the court, you can make an application to the court for examination of on commission. Okay, commission may be appointed. I am unable to come. There is also provision for the court to go for local inspection. Section 310 though. Local inspection CRPC में 310 है. Any magistrate may at any stage of the inquiry, trial, proceeding after due notice to party, visit, inspect the place in which the offence is alleged to have been committed. So, before passing the order, the learned magistrate or a judge, session judge, will visit the premises for appreciation of the how to understand the case. Now, the section 3110 is equal to, in the Code of Civil Procedure, आप चेक करेंगे ऑर्डर 18 रूल 18 चेक करो आप. कंपैरेटिव प्रोविजन ओपन करें ऑर्डर 18. Yeah, order 18, rule 18. Power of the court to inspect. देखिए आपने, the court may at any stage of a suit inspect any property or thing concerning which anything may arise, and where the court inspect any property thing, it shall, as it may be practical, make a memorandum of the relevant fact, observe such inspection. Such memorandum shall form part of the court. Normally, court will visit the premises. Normally, the court doesn't like to visit. Court will appoint a commissioner. Sometime for giving proper judgment, and the parties may request the court, my lord may kindly visit it. Suppose in a partition suit, several property, delicate boundary line barabar nahi. Now, in one of the cases, that in Bombay High Court, Justice Ajit Shah's bench was pleased to visit Chowpatty Beach for cleaning purposes. A petition was filed, public litigation. It is totally contaminated. There are the ecological imbalances. So the court visited the Chowpatty Beach. So pursuant to power under order 18, rule 18. So similarly, under the provisions of section 310 of the Criminal Procedure Code, the judge, session judge or a magistrate or a special court judge, at any stage of inquiry or trial or the proceeding, after due notice to parties, of course in the presence of the parties and the pleaders, visit and inspect any place in which the offence is alleged to have been committed, or any place which has been opinion necessary to view the purpose and purposes appreciating the evidence given and such inquiry at a trial, and shall without unnecessary delay record memorandum of any for such observation, such petition. Such memorandum shall form part of the record of the case, and if the prosecutor accused of any other person desires, any memorandum shall be furnished. So under the Evidence Act, the memorandum prepared by the magistrate or the judge who visit the premises. Similarly, the order and the minutes prepared by a civil judge under order 18 rule 1 will be part of the evidence, though they are technically speaking under the scheme of section 3 of the Evidence Act. They are not evidence, but they are matters before the court, which the court will take into consideration. When you kindly see section 3 of the Evidence Act, check karo aap. Now the definition proved, disproved, and not proved. So in any civil court or a criminal court, when a charge is framed, the prosecution has proved the case, prosecution has disproved the case, and not proved the case. Now, for proving, what does the court say? A fact is said to be proved when considering the matters before it. Now, underline the word matters before it. A matter need not be evidence. So, the memorandum prepared by the magistrate or a judge after visiting the property under section 310 or under order 18 to 18 is not technically evidence within the meaning of a Evidence Act. Evidence Act speaks of evidence which is a documentary evidence or electronic evidence or a primary evidence. It doesn't speak of the commissioner's report. A commissioner appointed by the court and records evidence and submit the report. It is also a matter before the court. Isn't it? A warrant has been executed by the police officer, or a bailiff has effected the writ of summons and made entry. The defendant is avoiding service. The accused person ran away. The warrant could not be effected. So it's a matter before the court. It's a matter before the court which can be allowed and read in evidence under the Evidence Act. It cannot be shut. Okay. What is the time now? Yeah, we have got 2 minutes. Anybody wants any question, please ask me. And I will complete the evidence chapter in a CRPC by tomorrow's lecture on a Wednesday. Okay, when you read and come, the provisions from section 273 onwards till 299. Okay, relevant provision. So Evidence Act, I need not read now. आज मालूम कर लिया हमने. Various types of evidence, examination chief, cross examination के लिए section 145, 157 and 158. So at this stage you need not know. These are the relevant provision. Anybody has any question, please ask me. समझ में आया यहाँ तक so far? No question? Think over and again, ask me, because it's a very subject is quite complicated subject, the trial stage. If you have not understood anything, please ask me, I'll explain.
Sir, is there any section for self-incrimination? How there is the Fifth Amendment in... so like there is Fifth Amendment in the United States.
Yes.
Is there any similar provision in...
Self-incrimination, isn't it?
Self-incrimination, yes, sir.
Article 20 hai na, of the Constitution.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Article 20 sub plus 2, isn't it?
So nothing in the Indian Evidence Act?
Indian Evidence Act में section 24. Confessions are not binding. Section 24, 25, 26.
Yes, sir.
पढ़े हमने? Police officer cannot record evidence, confession.
Yes,
no
sir.
inducement. Only confession can be recorded before a judicial magistrate. And confession before a police officer only with regard to recovery, discovery. Okay?
Yes, sir.
That is self-incrimination. You are not permitted to, a witness cannot be permitted to admit the offense. A police officer cannot say he has confessed the crime. A confession made before a police officer is not admissible. And nowadays you see in the newspaper, police officer put the confession, guna kabul kar liya. That guna is not acceptable. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Or anybody read and come the doctrine of Miranda rule. Next time remind me, I'll explain to you. Miranda versus Arizona. Arizona, that is also dealing with the Fifth Amendment of the US Constitution. That is a principle embodied in some of our in our CRPC. I will also in the Constitution of India. Right to remain silent. और कुछ पूछ रहा है जी?
Sir, can you kindly repeat the sections that we covered today? regarding cross examination.
क्रॉस एग्जामिनेशन सेक्शन 145 खोल लीजिए सीआरपीसी. इंटरेस्टिंग. सेक्शन 137 से वो एग्जामिनेशन होता है. 137 examination, cross examination. And if you want to cross examine a witness with regard to previous writing, section 145. पहले 137 में आ जाइए. 137 में cross examination, examination chief, cross examination. First 135 tells you the order in which the list of witnesses to be given. 136 के अंदर the judge passing an order on the admissibility of your document, relevancy of document. Please note that when documents are tendered, document record पे लेना है नहीं लेने का है. 136 में order होएगा. उसके बाद examination chief is 137. Cross examination उसी के साथ में होएगा. Further cross examine in examination chief में you are not allowed to lead leading question, section 141. Very important. Okay. What questions are lawful under 146? Now 145 deals with cross examination as to previous statement in writing. If a witness under section 161 recorded a statement with the police officer, वो कोर्ट के अंदर as a cross examiner you can he may be saying one thing in the affidavit before the police officer and he's changing his stand in the court of law. Then you may ask him question, which of your statement is correct? So you can contradict him under 145. So also I told you under the CPC, under order 7 rule 14 and order 8 rule 1A, certain documents which are meant for cross examination need not be disclosed if you want to contradict. This is one section 145. Please remember 145. 145 के अंदर these are you can contradict a witness. तुमने पिछली बार कुछ और कहा था, सिविल कोर्ट में कुछ और कहा था, यहाँ पे कुछ और कहा. वो बात सच है या ये बात सच है? Well, which evidence is correct? Under section 33 of the Evidence Act, the evidence suppose given in the different proceeding, different court relating to similar matter, you can contradict him to prove that the witness is a liar. The questions under 146, you can ask questions to prove that the witness is not reliable, that his position is not correct. Then under the provisions of section 157, you can prove him that 156, 157, this is called corroboration statement. You can prove that your former statements are different, this statement is different. Contradiction लेंगे आप. Your own witness you want to cross-examine, section 154. A hostile witness. आप एग्जामिन कर रहे विटनेस को टू प्रूव अ पर्टिकुलर स्टूडेंट इन योर फेवर, ही इज स्पीकिंग अगेंस्ट यू कोर्ट के अंदर. समझे ना? व्हेन ही इज स्पीकिंग अगेंस्ट यू, सेक्शन 154 प्रेस करो, टेल द कोर्ट दिस मैन इज माय ओन विटनेस बट ही इज स्पीकिंग अगेंस्ट मी. It appears he has been purchased by other side. He has been bribed. So I want to declare him as a hostile witness. Permission may be granted to me to declare him hostile and cross-examine him. So you put to him question. I put it to you that here your earlier statement about this. I put it to you that you have been bribed. I put it to you that you are deliberately changing your statement with a view to support the other side. I put it to you that your conduct, that is called impeaching the credibility, section 155. Please go. Impeaching the credibility के अंदर you can ask a witness that you have been bribed. 155 subclause 2 check करो आप. That the proof of witness has been bribed. You can tell him you are taken bribe. It is no defamation. Please note that when you tell a witness you are taken the bribe to answer against me, it is no defamation. Because you are permitted to put this a lawful question. If these are the questions which are lawful in cross-examination, remember that. Okay. Then corroborative evidence is also there. When a question may be allowed to corroborate, section 157. 156, 157, corroboration. Mean the evidence of one person is not acceptable. It should be supported by other evidence. So you say that the price of this article is, the price of this area is 1,000 rupees. The other person says, no, 3,000 rupees. There's a variation. So you may examine an independent architect from the court who will give a corroborative evidence, who will support your case. That is called corroboration. 156, 157. This is called corroborative. And 159 deals with a witness forget something. Permission can be given to refresh his memory. Law is well said. So before we wind up, this is clear now? Ask ke liye?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So I will wind up the evidence lecture. Next lecture. उससे evidence से शुरू करने के बाद then I will take up appeals, revisions, reviews लेता हूँ मैं, appeals and revisions. उससे पहले I had told you one complaint against the medical doctors वो लिखा देता हूँ मैं. That is maybe next week. So tomorrow, I mean day after tomorrow, I will cover the evidence part, entire evidence in criminal trial. Okay, shall we wind up? Anybody want to ask any question finally? है किसी को? रघुवेश, सुप्रिया, मयूर, भक्ति, कोई सवाल है? मल्लिका? नहीं?
No, sir.
No है? Okay, then everybody have a nice time. Good night. Okay? And one lecture will be sufficient for us because we are going fast. I am told your examinations are in the month of October end. So we'll go around say more than 65, more than 50% we have covered the chapter. We are covering more and we are chapter we are explaining with the help of judgments to you, provision, CPC, CRPC. समझ में आ रहा ना आप लोग के?
Yes, sir.
Isn't that? Okay. Okay then. Okay then. Good night. Chalo.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, okay. Bye bye. Good night.